96.7 KCAL rocks after a wild weekend of additional football. For the first time, we got that additional week. Let's talk some sports with our guy Pep. What's going on, Pep?
Hey, good morning, guys. Yeah, we had our first 17-game regular season, right? An extra bonus week of football. Guys, it just wasn't an extra week of football. It might have been the best week of football we had all season long, as the playoffs really came down to the final couple of games. In fact, the final game of the season between the Raiders and the Chargers. And it was a winner take all unless it ended in a tie, and it almost did, which would be crazy. But it's going to be the Raiders advancing to the playoffs, and the Chargers are going to be on the outside looking in, as the Raiders won 35-32 in OT on a field goal to win it.
I mean, remember on Thursday, we were talking and laughing about the scenario of the tie. And then when the tie was actually possibly going to take place, I was like, you're kidding me.
The first thing I did was text Patrick, like, let's see the tie. Yeah. Let's see it.
Who put money on that in Vegas? Because if they did, they're about to hit big.
Yeah, it was so crazy. And even going back to, earlier in the day on Sunday, all this unfolded because, the Jaguars upset the Colts. So the Colts were out. So now the Steelers-Ravens winner, which ended up being the Steelers, they were keeping an eye on, what was going to happen with that, Chargers-Raiders game. So many things, like a domino effect, had to fall into place to make it like a super interesting and drama-filled final game on Sunday Night Football for the Raiders and the Chargers. And guys, listen, the Raiders and the Chargers, they could have tied and both made the playoffs. Like, what's not to say that the Raiders on that final kick to win it in overtime, why didn't they just take a knee and be like, okay, Chargers are going in? They could have.
They could have. That thought was there. It was there, and it was discussed from what we heard from the coach.
There's a lot of video coming out now that, the Raiders coach was saying he was thinking about going to the tie at points during the game. There's a conversation between two players on the field afterwards, a Chargers player and a Raiders player. And he says, like, we were thinking about kneeling it. You can see the disappointment on the Chargers player's face when he's like, we could have had the tie.
Right. We were thinking about that, but John Madden's family lit up the torch, and Al would roll over in his grave. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and I think shortly after the Raiders won in overtime to punch their ticket to the playoffs, they tweeted out, "It's not just tie, baby." That was the tweet. It's just win, baby. They were going for the win. And if you're a Raiders fan, think about it. Who would you controlled the destiny of a couple teams? Did you want to see the Chargers in the playoffs, or did you want to see the Steelers in the playoffs? A tie would get them, the Chargers and the Raiders both in, but a win obviously would get the Steelers in as well, and Big Ben, and they went for the win. Just win, baby.
They got it too, and now it's the Chargers are the guys that are wishing like maybe we should just win for the trade. We should win for the tie.
Yeah, instead of seeing the young, exciting quarterback, we get to see Big Ben.
Right.
Man, what? And that's just the AFC. Let's talk about the NFC real quick. The Rams and 49ers actually, locked horns in a great game. The Rams trying to win the NFC West title, which they did. Because the Seahawks, Patrick, your Seahawks, you did them a favor and beat the Arizona Cardinals yesterday. So the Rams lost to the 49ers in overtime, but still won the NFC Championship. And the 49ers, with that win, they also get into the playoffs.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy how that worked out. But pretty what we thought, other than my team completely exploding.
Right.
This is kind of what we thought was going to happen, no?
Yeah, I did. I thought in the end that, Arizona was off to that great start, but I thought in the end the Rams would catch up to them. And they did. It was close. It went down to the wire, but the Rams did come out with another NFC West championship, which I thought they would. But Arizona is going to be tough. And we're talking about both teams now. They're going to see each other again in Super Wild Card Weekend on a Monday Night Football game. Like, it's going to be nuts.
Yeah, that's going to be fun.
That's cool. Like, we'll obviously talk about it more on Thursday when we get caught up with you. But, yeah, we get 3 days of NFL wildcard action, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday.
Super wildcard weekend. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, because think about this year, guys. This year in the NFL is a little bit different because we had the extra regular season game, right? A 17-game season, 18 weeks of regular season football. Now we've got an extra playoff team, right? So that first round bye will go to the Packers in the NFC and the Titans in the AFC. So I don't know, man. I know, traditionalists are like, let's not tinker with anything. Let's not blow anything up and mess anything up. I don't know, man. This was a great year of football. It was a great weekend of football, and I'm looking ahead to next weekend, and it looks like it's going to be insane with Saturday, Sunday, and now a Monday Night Football playoff game.
Right.
Yeah, here we go.
So, any bold predictions before we open up these playoff matchups?
I hate to be negative, Nelly, but for some
Go for
reason,
it.
I feel like something stunning is going to happen, and I could see like the Bucks getting sniped in a weird game. For some reason, I just feel like the Bucks are not going to make it all the way to the Super Bowl. I think some stunner is going to happen, and I feel like it could be Tom Brady for some reason. I don't know why. I don't got any angst towards him or anything like that, but I just think it's tough to make it to that freaking Super Bowl.
With the Eagles lined up to take them on first round, I'll take that all day.
The most dangerous team in the playoffs, I feel, is the Eagles because you don't really know what they're going to do, and I think that's dangerous.
Yeah, it could be. And, maybe I'm being a homer over here, but, the 49ers. 49ers on paper, man, they got a lot of talent. Can they put it together? Can Jimmy G put it together here in the playoffs? They just beat the Rams. So I don't know. I'm excited. I just want to see if you guys had any predictions before the games start unfolding in front of us come next weekend.
I guess it's just one of those weird years where it does feel like the teams at the top, the high-seeded teams, they feel gettable for some reason. Like the Chiefs don't feel like they're all that secure.
Yeah.
Tampa Bay doesn't feel like it.
Right.
I can see Dallas, not showing up either. Like
I feel like 40's team is real dangerous. The Raiders are in there. They're dangerous. Yeah. Look out. I like it.
I think the AFC is wide open. But I think the NFC's, to me at least, a little top-heavy. I think the Packers are really good. I think the Rams are really good, even though they just lost to the 49ers. I thought the Buccaneers, if they're healthy and have everybody, they're pretty good. But the AFC, I have no idea. The Raiders could get to the Super Bowl. I'm saying that right now. The Raiders could get to the Super Bowl.
They could, but I really feel like Derrick Henry is going to be dangerous for Tennessee. And now they have a bye. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a problem, and he's back. And Tennessee's got that recipe to win football games with running the football and playing defense. Don't reinvent the wheel here, right? That wins football games if you could do those two things. So we will see. But guys, if your team made the playoffs this morning, you're in great shape. You're feeling good. You're excited about those playoff matchups, like 40 over here. But if your team had a bad season, they waste little time to fire their head coaches, and we've already seen multiple head coaches getting fired as of this Monday morning. The Dolphins, the Vikings, the Bears. There'll be more as the day progresses. I'm sure of it.
Yeah, Red Monday, whatever they call Black Monday.
Yeah,
I believe we're trying to figure out the name.
Day when all the head coaches, I think we've had 4 or 5 already that have all been cut, and GMs getting cut as well too.
Let the firing begin, and it has.
Yeah, it's painful, man. You look across the street and you see all these other NFL teams going to the playoffs and everything's great and they're challenging for a Super Bowl, and then your team is stuck at home, not playing for anything. Another bad season, another wasted season, it's Black Monday. They don't waste any time. I'm surprised we didn't hear any firings like late last night. Actually, they waited till Monday morning, which I was kind of surprised with. But yeah, so today is Black Monday, and NFL teams are firing their head coaches, their GMs. Right and left today. So we will see who's next on the chopping block. And finally, we got the college football national championship game tonight. If I sound like a broken record, it's because I am. It's Alabama and Georgia when all the dust settled again. And it'll play for the national championship tonight as Alabama and Nick Saban try to do it all over again, and it sure looks like they will.
I feel like Georgia has a little bit better chance this time. I know it's Alabama, but they get a second crack at them. And it is Kirby Smart, the head coach of Georgia, the underling of Nick Saban. So he knows Nick Saban. I say Georgia pulls off the upset.
Ooh, I like it.
Yeah, I know I'm going out on a limb because it's Alabama. I get it.
The point spread's only Georgia -2.5. So they think the point spread's going to be pretty close.
Okay.
I like that.
Yeah, I would be surprised if it's not a close game. And again, I think I mentioned this last week that the way that Georgia beat Michigan, it really, perked up my attention. I'm like, okay, hold on. I knew Georgia was really, really good. Come on, they were number 1 in the nation throughout the course of the season. But to see the way they beat Michigan, that national semifinal, I'm like, okay, Georgia's got a real shot to knock off Bama.
And Georgia is the team favored, by the way, by -2.5 for Georgia.
Wow.
So they are favored.
I know. I get. It's just so weird to hear that against Alabama, I guess.
Right.
It is, because if you think about Georgia, they don't necessarily have a superstar player. They didn't have like a Heisman quarterback. They didn't, you know what I mean? Like you hear Georgia, you're like, oh yeah, who's on that team? But Alabama, all these NFL guys, Bryce Young, the quarterback, he's the Heisman winner. Like everyone knows about Alabama. Hardly anybody knows, at least here on the West Coast, of what the Georgia Bulldogs are all about.
Ah, the modern day product, Mr. Bryce Young. We will find out tonight what happens with that, the king of the NCAA football. And then once we get closer to Super Wild Card Sunday, we'll talk with Pep again on Thursday. Pep, tell them how to get your stuff.
You got it. We'll break it down on Thursday. Until then, check us out on Inland Sports all over social media. We got the Inland Sports YouTube channel as well.